Okay. And we are live. How you doing, Federico?
Hey, Philip, I'm doing great. Everybody, I want to just take a moment to first thank you all for taking this time to open your ears to hear the information we're going to be giving out today. And the secret tax is the topic of the day. Philip, John, and I are going to be going over the secret tax and how the average mind that's living in society does not think about the secret tax enough, nor do they understand it. This is something that they don't teach to you when you're in high school. Isn't it interesting? They'll teach you all these other things that lead you down paths that have no destination of success or what we ought to, in a place where we can learn how silver and gold can change our life. The only way to fully grasp that is to see the times we're living in. And the times we're living in, it's a painful time. You go and you purchase meat at the grocery store and you're paying more dollars. You go and you buy that gallon of milk, there's more dollars. Here's a stack of eggs, there's more dollars. And it's like everywhere I'm turning, there's more dollars. Why is this? Some of you out there, you're asking that question. So the goal today is that John, Philip, and I can expose this secret tax and do it in a very prompt and a very professional way. I think you're going to enjoy it. I'm going to hand this over to Philip because he's going to be talking about right now Argentina and the inflation is near 80%. Philip, what does this mean?
That means things got a little bit crazy around the world. 80% inflation, that's pretty high. So as soon as you get your paycheck, you have to spend the money right away, or else things are going to go up in value really fast. So just that pain, like everybody felt that pain at the pump when they're filling up their car with gasoline. So we had about, was it 9%, 8.5% inflation. So imagine having that times 10, and that's what people are feeling in Argentina. So
what we're feeling right now, all of us are feeling the pain at the pumps. And you said that we're close to 10% of inflation that we've experienced in a short time. And when the news just says 80% for Argentina, we can't even fully imagine what that feels like. We can try, but we've not experienced it, correct? Not yet.
Hopefully not.
No, hopefully not.
But I mean, it's really interesting, like what's been happening since 2020 and how much money they've been printing, whatever, if you want to say it like that. And that's why we put some of this stuff together to kind of show you, like, well, what happened. So we'll get going here. The secret tax. But first, can you go over this disclaimer?
Sure. Everybody, we want you to know that this is not intended to give financial advice. Please always do your own research. Don't just believe anything we're saying. When we speak about the gold standard, how that, gold was illegal for a certain amount of time, we're going to explain why. Understand that you also go do your own research. This is not intended to promote any specific political party, religious organization, or any football team. We're not here trying to get you to be a certain type of way, except just have knowledge about what can change and drastically impact your financial life and save you from a lot of potential pain. So back to you, Philip.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Let's see. So what are we doing here? So this is kind of, what we've talked about.
It says we're here to help as many people as possible be more aware of the secret tax and support business owners, support local business and entrepreneurs, and to show everybody how to do this. These are three things I want everyone to remember. Let it sink. Build assets with gold and silver. You have a portfolio of gold and silver of your own to improve and grow in personal development. What we do when we're studying together, that's what we are doing. We're building each other up, and then have the ability to build a business with this system that we're using. So that's pretty much what we're here to do today.
Awesome. Yep. It shows many people the secret tax.
That's right.
And we do want to support local business owners, entrepreneurs, people that are going out there and giving value to the marketplace, giving value to the community, because those people, entrepreneurs, like what they do, a lot of them are the reason why we have good things. While they're out there giving that value, what they've come up with, the best thing that they possibly can give to their neighbors, right? So
Right.
by them doing that, like we reward them. We want to pay them to give us that service. So
That's
it's a
right.
good thing, and we want to support them. So let's get into the secret tax, though. So what is the secret tax? If you look at inflation, we talked about Argentina inflation. So here you can see inflation from Investopedia. They have this picture here. It's a rise in prices, which can be translated as the decline of purchasing power over time. So inflation is a function of the supply and demand for money, meaning that producing relatively more dollars causes each dollar to become less valuable, forcing general price level to rise. So if more dollars are added, the dollars you're holding are worth less money.
So just like we were looking at starting off the presentation with what's happening on the other side of the world, it's happening here as well. It says here the annual inflation rate for the United States is 8.5% for the 12 months ended July 2022, after rising to 9.1 previously, the most since November of 1981. Now I'm 40 years old. I was born in 1981. This is the most since then. Incredible.
And then, the Federal Reserve targets a 2% annual inflation rate. And they do this for different reasons. They say to help encourage business activity, but really it is a secret tax because, the dollars you're holding, if you're holding cash, if you're putting it under your bed, if you're putting it in a safe, over time, it's going to lose value.
So just saving dollars inside your dresser drawers for a rainy day or a hardship could cost you.
Definitely. How would you like to get some of these prices, though, right now?
1971, the cost of living was for a new house $25,000. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. The Brady Bunch years, 1971, buy a whole house for 25 G's, a new car for 3,000, buy a movie ticket for $1.50. Gas was 40 cents. This is not long ago. This is not long ago at all. Eggs, 45 cents per dozen. My wife spent about $15 on eggs just yesterday.
So
Incredible.
What happened in 1971? Well, that's actually an important year. So in 1971, that's when we came off the Bretton Woods Agreement. And basically, this was like the gold standard. So it was an agreement under which gold was the basis for the US dollar. And then other currencies could be pegged to the US dollar because the dollar had that, security, stability. So gold would basically keep the money in check for that time.
Okay.
And that was the idea. So we came off of that in 1971. And just to show, well, how much money were they actually printing or adding? This chart really shows you what happened. And it goes back from before the 80s. And then it just keeps going. You can see in 2008, it just like turned on the printing press, just printing money, adding money.
Right.
And then look what happened in 2020. Just spikes. That's when
COVID hit, right?
Yeah. And then, well, where was all that money coming from when people were getting their stimulus checks? If they can just make as much money as they want, there has to be something that, is an effect of that.
Whenever they were giving out all that free money, that was a shocker to me. I was like, I understand this is something that's happening, but you're giving us all this money to everybody. Like in my mind, in the back of my head, I go, somewhere down the road, we're going to have to pay this back. There's going to be some secret tax happening. And this is what we're discussing to everybody here in this presentation. We're living in it now.
Yeah. So what were some of those effects, though? And what we're looking at is more over time, because If they target 2% inflation, I mean that means next year your money's worth a little bit less, a little bit less. But what happened after 1971, we can see like certain things that happen because if we're not on this gold standard anymore and they're printing money, these are some of the effects. So it says dual income working couples. So this increased. Life was getting harder, harder to make a living. And you can see it in some of these charts.
So the husband was only working during a certain time, but the more that the inflation occurs, both spouses have to work. That percentage increases.
So husband only working, it shows went down, and then dual income working couples increased. And here's another way to look at it. So this chart tracks growth in productivity and hourly compensation. So there's the year 1971, 1972 right there. So you see productivity increases, but compensation doesn't keep up. So just over time, it became harder and harder, and what you earn is worth less.
Okay.
Interesting what's going on. So that's why it's a good idea to find ways to outpace inflation. And that's why people invest. Find ways to have a store value. And there's some quotes here from Robert Kiyosaki. He's the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yes.
I like this one a lot because, he's a really smart guy. He teaches people, has an education company. And this is his quote: "If I have cash and I can't find a way to put it into real estate or my business, I hold it in gold and silver."
Wow.
Robert
So
Kiyosaki.
rather than just keep it in dollar and he's already having millions of dollars. He's like, I'll just have lots of silver for the money I'm not investing.
So
interesting.
And then we have
what does JP Morgan say? JP Morgan says he says gold and silver are money. Everything else is credit. Isn't that interesting that silver and gold itself is money? Mm-hmm. Everything else this is what I'm saying this is worth. But this gold and silver is money. I like that.
It's God's money.
It's God's money. That's right.
So how much can a coin be worth? People might think like, okay, well, I'm having coins. How can something small really be worth something, right? So this is an extreme example because this coin is very rare. And it's rare because there was a time in the United States when it was illegal for Americans to have gold.
Illegal for Americans to have gold. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, imagine you having gold right now and the cops at your door say, "Give me that gold." Illegal.
And people actually had to turn it in. And that's why we have this news article here. It says, on or before May 1st, 1933, all gold coin, gold bullion, and gold certificates now owned by them to the Federal Reserve Bank branch or agency. So they wanted people to turn in their gold. And even yeah.
This is incredible, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. 1933. I was at my mom's house and visiting my grandmother yesterday. She was born like in the 20s, and she's still rocking it today. And in her lifetime, gold was illegal. Look at this. Under executive order of the president, you better turn in your gold. What does it say down here? Criminal penalties for violation of the executive order is a $10,000 fine and 10 years imprisonment. So imagine the president signs something and everybody's like, turn your gold in. If you're keeping it, you're going to be 10 years and $10,000. You're going to pay it up. That's crazy. All the way to 1974, the Brady Bunch era.
Yep, it happened. I want to thank my uncle, John. He actually sat me down and showed me these things. And it made me really think. I don't remember them teaching me this in school.
No.
But, I'm glad I had him like show me some of these things. But at that time, though, with this coin, this gold coin, there was people that most likely held on to it. They didn't listen. Someone had one of these And this auctioned for $18.9 million.
$18.9 million.
Yeah, imagine.
Is it because it is from the time whenever these coins were to be turned in? This coin was never turned in.
Exactly. So people were turning in all their golds, and then it got melted down. These coins became very rare. So this one auctioned for millions of dollars. It's pretty interesting.
That is very interesting.
Something rare and scarce can be worth a lot of money. So let's move on. So what is happening to currency? Here's a nice chart to kind of look at the dollar, the value of the dollar. So if you go back and look at that time, like 1933, well, before that, they had the stock market crash and then the Great Depression. So I'm sure a lot of people, were holding on to gold and hoarding it. And then it got to a point where the government wanted it and they made that executive order. And then going through the history, you have 1944, and that's when that Bretton Woods Agreement started. So that's when the gold standard really became a thing. So where a dollar would have an equivalent in gold. So if someone in another country had a dollar, like technically they could go in and say, hey, I want to trade this for the equivalent in gold.
Right.
So, and that's when, the dollar became the world reserve currency, because all the other currencies were pegged to the dollar.
Okay.
And then in 1971, we came off that gold standard. And then you can just see how the value of the dollar just keeps going down over time.
Right.
Then inflation, secret tax. And let's look at this example. Just a hypothetical. If you went back 20 years ago, and if you had $10,000, let's imagine I give you $10,000, Federico.
Okay.
But it's 1992.
Okay. 1992, you gave me 10K.
Yeah. The value of that was actually worth $20,000, 218. Yep, $20,218. So,
wow.
Yeah, over that time, 20 years, the inflation rate was 2.37%. So that, imagine, would be the secret tax, right? So you're paying taxes, all that time anyway.
So that's just like the other chart. We've seen that you could buy a house for $25,000, and the eggs were cheaper. But this whole time between that time and now, there's been that secret tax happening every year.
Yep. So over time, if you put that cash, let's say you have two choices. Let's say option one, you decided, I have this 10K, I'm going to set it aside, hold it a long time.
Sure.
And let's say you put it in a safe, just cash in a safe, or under your mattress.
Yes.
You would have lost half of the value of your money by letting it stay in cash. Half of it would poof, be gone. Just like that. So
and I see right there where it says silver priced August 2022. Looks like 1,317 would be $27,430.
But see, these numbers you wouldn't not pay that much for a gold coin. But that's just to show you like the value of having precious metals in your portfolio or as your savings. Yes. So at that time, if you took that 10,000 and you chose option 2, you would get this result. So you would have that in silver. And imagine you paid way more than you should for the spot price, and each coin costs $7.59. You would have 17 and a half ounces of silver, and you still would have had the value of your $20,000 and even a little bit of a gain just by letting it sit there in silver.
instead of paper dollars in the mattress. I get it now. That's awesome.
So just an example to show like, okay, well, there is the secret tax. That over time, it doesn't look like they're going to, stop doing that. So if you use money, then over time, your money's going to be worth less. If you use currency, see, there's a difference between currency and money. Gold and silver is money. Dollars, fiat money, that's currency. So you want to hold something that has value. And there's a reason to hold cash too, but long term, it's better to put your money somewhere where it's going to outpace inflation.
Correct.
So I have a guest I want to bring on here today. He's a business partner. We have John Nunez, and John loves silver. So we're going to get some insight from John on silver. And John, are you there?
Yes, I'm here,
Awesome.
Philip, and thank you. And you're right, I do love silver. The more that I research it, it's just the better that it gets. And like Federico said, the stuff that we're learning today, they don't teach you in high school. So as I was growing up, I was told to save my money in a savings account. That way I could accumulate interest. At the interest rate that we have right now, 8.26%, that money in the savings account will be losing its purchasing power. Now, why silver? Silver's been around for millions of years, and it's been used by mankind for 5,000 years as a system of trade, bartering, leading to the world's first monetary systems documented. Now, inflation at 8.2%, 8.26%, most banks offer an interest rate on your savings account of 0.13%. So this means that you're losing your purchasing power faster than you could save it. So this is why I choose silver. Also, the annual silver supply, 50% of it is used in industrial applications like electronics, medicine, these tablets that we're on today, smartphones,
50%.
laptops, all that stuff. And, that's not going away. Electric vehicles. So, in the next decade or so, this is going to increase the demand for silver. And,
Wow.
There's people out there already saying that silver is scarce. So
Yeah.
when you ask me why silver, it's going to hold its value, and, demand's going to go up, and we're going to be a part of that ride rather than just having our cash lose its value in our savings account.
Yeah.
That's right.
I thought it was interesting when I looked at the whole solar panel, what was going on with the solar panels. And I was like, okay, how much silver is used in solar panels? And I know we talked about this. And it's like, tell us what's going on with that.
The solar panels. So right now there's approximately little over half an ounce used for each panel. And with the newer solar panels that are coming out, they're going to be a lot more powerful, which is going to require more silver, probably double than what they're using right now. And just in the United States alone, with the Biden and Harris administration, the initiative they have by the year 2035, they are expecting 72 million homes to have solar panels on them. Now, if you do the math there, some of these homes, and they could range anywhere from 6 to 9 solar panels. I've seen some with 15 solar panels on them, and even more than that. So if you do the math there, just in solar panels alone, the demand is going to increase. That's not including, electric vehicles, all the new iPhones. It seems like every year they're coming out with a new iPhone. So, all this stuff is just, it's going to increase the demand. So after the COVID-19 pandemic, there was an acceleration of money printing, leading to the inflated dollar that we have today. Now, if you take a look at the slide that Philip has here, just meat itself, 6.7%. The eggs, I think that,
Yeah, why?
why? That's crazy. And that's even if you find the eggs in the aisle. Like I've gone to buy eggs sometimes and they're not even there. And those sometimes, the ones that are there are the most expensive ones, the organic ones. So I'm definitely feeling that in my pocket because, I'm a big breakfast guy. So I always have eggs in my fridge. I should probably buy some chickens, maybe invest in some chickens or something.
Man.
But Utilities, we go to the next slide. Utilities up 17.2%. Electricity, I think we all see this and we feel this, especially at the gas, over 25%. I mean, this is stuff that is due to inflation.
Yeah.
Back to you, Philip.
Thank you, John. I appreciate you. Yeah, hopefully too, we want to take a look at your silver. I know you have some really awesome coins.
I've got some cool stuff, yeah. So I don't know if you guys can see this there. I'm using a different camera today.
Oh yeah.
This is a 5-ounce NEU 2022 Roaring Lion. It's my favorite, so I got a little case for it and everything.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That one's rare. I don't even think you can get that one anymore.
No, so I actually went to the Quicksilver shop to see if I could get more, and they're not available on there anymore. There's only 1,000 of these minted worldwide, as well as the Tree of Life. There was only 1,000 minted of them. So that's more of a collection piece. So there's definitely a higher premium on them. But then I got some rounds here, which is more closer to the spot price of silver. So I don't know if you see that. It's a Buffalo round.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you'll get these. They have a slight premium of about $3 to $4, but you know, it's more just to have the weight of silver. So if it ever came down to, you know, having to go take out some of, you know, some value out of my silver, maybe, oh, you know, the emergency came up, I need to sell some silver, you know, then these are the things that I would sell. You know, they won't pay premiums on this, maybe $1 over. But I went to my local coin shop last week. That's actually where I got these from. He's actually paying spot price on those. So, you know, some of the other coins that I have, it'll have a slight premium, maybe $2 to $3 over. But if you ask me, I don't think I'm going to be selling my silver anytime soon.
No, I'm definitely not. Thank you, John. Real quick, though, can you share with everybody why Quicksilver? You mentioned Quicksilver.
So why Quicksilver? This company makes it fun to, you know, accumulate silver, you know, while you generate an income and learn at the same time. So they give you an option to, you could cash out if you could cash out, but I choose to get free silver. So all you need to do is just show the information of the power of silver and gold. They do have gold options on there, and you know, you get rewarded with free silver. You know, it's an amazing company, you know, to give us this opportunity, especially in these times. So it's on an auto system. You know, silver automatically is shipped to my house once a month, every month. And, you know, whatever I can, you know, do extra whenever I get paid every Friday, you know, maybe I'll buy a couple more ounces extra.
Yes.
Very nice.
You know, that's what I've been doing as well. I just, you know, whenever I make I trade cryptocurrency. So if I ever get a good trade where I make a profit, I take that profit and say, hey, you know, let's get a coin. Dollar cost averaging as you go. I want to encourage everybody out there just to show you. I have an idea. I have my coins right here next to me. Let me go ahead and. This is what's called a challenge kit. Let me see if you can see this. So I have my challenge kit filled to the top with coins, and I'm going to have to buy another case so that I can have another challenge kit. And these coins are 1 ounce coins, and they're very beautiful. If you look very closely, you can see the details in them. Nice. You know, this one here specifically is my favorite because of the details. The camera doesn't do no justice, but it's basically this gentleman and this mermaid in the water, and underneath them is the darkness of sharks, and the detail that goes into these coins and how they only make so many of them. It really intrigues me, and it's actually exciting because, as John was saying about me receiving free silver, you know, I receive these little silver dimes. You know, it's really good quality silver, guys, and just for educating people about these gold standards and showing this to people, we're rewarded in free silver because everybody's, like as John's saying, getting on monthly auto ship, having God's money sent to the house, of course, stored in a good safe right next to the semi-auto rifle.
Thanks for showing that, Federico. You know, I actually brought my kit here as well. And then, you know, I've been asked lately, well, yeah, you've been talking about silver so much. You know, do you have gold? do you guys have gold? And we do. There's so many different options, but I'm only going to show these today. So this is these are gold notes. So this is gold, like a foil note.
Ooh,
24 karat gold.
that's very nice.
So for me, I like to trade in, paper money and then get something a little bit more real.
24 karat gold.
Yeah, so just something to hold on to. And, for me, it's like, okay, if I have some cash, a little bit extra cash, like going in my savings, I'm going to put it in precious metals. I'm going to put a percentage in precious metals as I dollar cost average my savings. So this is just a different option for you to diversify your savings. And that's what I love about Quicksilver.
You can you sacrifice some of that extra, drive-through money that you're spending on an unhealthy food, or just like, you know what, I don't need that extra coffee. Let me just put that into my silver bag. I'm going to buy myself a coin every month, and then over time, you have a Captain Crunch chest with coins just shining. As you saw Philip, he was holding that 24 karat gold paper with the beautiful artwork, and the light was just shining all over his face. It's very nice quality.
So I really love what we're doing here, and I'm glad that I'm working with you guys. I really feel good about what this company is doing as well. And it's not about just getting into a company to try to pitch people things. That's not why we're here. People get pitched things every day, and there's so many different Ponzi type companies popping up all the time. And then you'll have a friend start one thing, and then 2 months go by, and then all of a sudden he's trying to show you something different. And it's like, I'm not gonna do that. When I found this, I found something that is valuable. For one thing, you're trading in dollars for silver and gold. That's worth money. You're just diversifying your savings. So I don't feel like I have to pitch anything. We're building here.
That's absolutely correct. As Philip says, we're building, and it also makes me feel good to know that every dollar I spend whenever I purchase my silver every month, I don't know if you can see this here, but there's a picture of some children that are, I believe, potentially orphans or don't have all the necessities. Your orders not only deliver wealth building assets to you, but also help provide life for sustaining meals for hungry children and families around the world. So this company actually matches and gets meals to hungry kids when you buy silver. I like that.
Yeah. Hey, so Freddie, let's go through this back office and close this thing out for today.
We're going to close this thing out, and Philip's going to show us some things. What do you got for us today?
I'm just going through the Quicksilver page, and then you mentioned how they give back. So I'm going to get to that section here real quick. And then we can take a look at some of the coins on the page so everybody can see. And then right here, so these are the challenge kits. And what you just showed us with them giving back. So every time somebody purchases one of these challenge kits, they're actually donating money to feed children in need. So that's what I love about this place. They give back. There's a way for everybody to benefit here. A lot of member benefits here. And then so here's that project that you showed on that card. So meals donated. So 106,492 and counting.
Nice. All right, now let's take a look at these coins. We have about 2 minutes. Let's look at some of this silver and gold that Philip has.
All right. So here's some of the silver coins right when you get onto the shop page. And everybody that becomes a member here, you will have this page. It's amazing. Yes. You have the ability to have this shop and come in here, share this with your friends. The Bart Simpson coin. Oh, here's that coin you shared with everyone. It's the Samoa Pacific Mermaid. zoom in a
Yes.
little bit. That's an amazing coin.
Well, just the detail in the water and the detail in the teeth of the sharks, and it's like, wow, how did you engrave all of that in that silver?
Yeah. On there doing a promotion this month. You get some free silver with a purchase.
Yeah, I want to encourage everybody to look at the challenge kit. The challenge kit is a really good way to come in hard and get yourself the case. Come with the white gloves. Comes with the magnifying glass. Comes with all these essentials that you want to have. And there you go, right there. You definitely want to come in with the challenge kit and just start filling up your box, and then get another one and fill that box up. Put it in the safe. Put it next to your rifle. You know, be prepared. We don't know what times are ahead of us, and those of you that are watching, want to thank you for joining this presentation. Look at the gold. Look at that, $697. You know, don't tell me you can't afford 24 karat gold and have it look as beautiful as these sheets with these beautiful artwork. Look at this. Then you get yourself the coins. This is my next move right here. Is some of these coins that are gold. I don't have any gold coins. I've been stacking silver. These are just ideas we want to put inside of your minds, ladies and gentlemen. Don't sit there and watch the gas pumps rise and you're just looking at your dollars saying, I need more dollars. You know, when you get a chance, get some of the dollars and get some gold, and always know I'm stacking up. I'm stacking up for any time that I need to, like as John said, maybe I need emergency funds. I'd rather dip into emergency funds that's increasing than it is decreasing.
That's great, Federico. We're right at our time. We have about 30 seconds.
All right, everybody. We'll get back to the person that invited you to this presentation. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening about the gold standard with us and about the secret tax that we're not thinking about enough.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
One sec, Federico. Let me end this broadcast.